This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Police say they're disappointed Tasmanian drivers continue to put other lives at risk by evading police. 2 weeks after new laws were introduced to crack down on offenders, 23 people have been charged and 21 vehicles seized.
These are just some of the cars used to wreak havoc on our roads in the last 2 weeks. The drivers are now expected to face significant fines and even jail time following the introduction of new evade police laws.
What's happened in the last 2 weeks has proven that we have an epidemic of people evading police in motor cars and motor vehicles, which is the most dangerous thing you can do in a motor vehicle.
It's extremely disappointing since the legislation has been passed that we have those figures that the Minister has just given.
And police say evades are continuing.
There was a vehicle confiscated and a person arrested Friday night, Saturday night, and there's actually just been one this morning of which the vehicle's impounded now, and that female driver is in custody.
The word will be out there very quick that this is not something you want to do. This is something that you not only get your vehicle confiscated or clamped for a long period of time, you'll go before a court where you face fines of up to $15,000 and three years imprisonment.
But while the Liberals were focusing on road safety, across town the Greens were today pushing to further protect the environment. Cassie O'Connor announcing the party will campaign for a Tarkine National Park in the lead up to next year's state election.
This wilderness, described by CNN as the world's #1 wilderness, is extraordinary and beautiful. It deserves protection, but it's also, we believe, the key to the future economic and social strength of the northwest of Tasmania.
Meanwhile, the state opposition is pressuring the Premier to sort out his cabinet following yesterday's shock resignation of Minister Matthew Groom.
Given that there are very few females in Cabinet, I would expect him to look to one of his female colleagues to fulfil that role.
The government says it will announce its cabinet reshuffle in coming weeks. Monica Dadson at Southern Cross News.
A report is being prepared for the coroner following a deceased body being found in a burnt-out car at the Sorrel Creek boat ramp a short distance outside New Norfolk. At around 4:30 p.m. yesterday, emergency services were called to reports of a green 2001 Toyota hatchback on fire. There are no suspicious circumstances surrounding the death and forensic results are pending. Police are continuing to investigate and ask anyone with information to come forward. A fire that gutted a house in Latrobe yesterday is being treated as accidentally lit. The exact cause is yet to be determined, but fire investigators don't believe the blaze was deliberate. Emergency services attended the property soon after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. No one was injured. Damage has been estimated at $185,000. Despite pouring rain and strong winds, organisers of the inaugural Launceston Marathon have labelled the event a success. Hundreds of eager athletes took part and planning is now underway for next year.
From sunshine to battering rain, participants in the first Launceston Marathon took it all in their stride.
It's pretty tough, especially going up to Heritage Forest. It was really windy and raining, but no, it was good.
Around 350 people competed in the event. Some took on the quarter marathon, others the half. And for those wanting an extra challenge, they pushed themselves through the full 42 kilometres. Organisers impressed with the marathon's success.
It's great to have an event of this calibre and size. It gives people something to aim for. I mean, we all do the fun runs and enjoy them and the numbers are building, but at the end of the day, there's got to be something else after that as well.
Hobart's Mick Appenar took out the marathon with a time of 3 hours and 4 minutes.
It's my first podium, my first win, my 5th marathon, so yeah, pretty stoked.
You look like you could do it again.
Not quite again, but feeling it towards the end.
Rebecca Zooey, the first female across the line.
I've never won a race like that before, so all the training paid off. I started in April. I got a guy to set up a training plan for me, so I was doing lots of kilometres before work every day.
Rose Dingermans and Daniel Smee winning the half marathon.
Oh, it's fantastic. At my age, it's great to get a win. Every big city needs a marathon, and it's great that Launceston's now got one.
And there's already plans for the marathon to be held again next September.
We've done really well. I think it'll only grow and build from here.
Monica Dadson at Southern Cross News.
A 21-year-old man is in a stable condition tonight in hospital after being hit by a car on the Channel Highway in Kingston this afternoon. Police say the man sustained serious but non-life-threatening injuries and was taken to the Royal Hobart Hospital. Speed and alcohol are not considered as contributing factors. Investigations are continuing. One of Tasmania's most loved adventurers, Lloyd Jones, has today had his life celebrated after his ashes were scattered on a mountain named after him. His family says he's left a legacy and will always be remembered for his daredevil antics.
He was one of the state's great aviators, adventurers and visionaries. In 1953, Lloyd Jones made the first aircraft landing on Lake Pedder Beach in Tasmania's wild southwest.
We really got in those early days and used these little aircraft right to their limit to go places that were previously virtually undiscovered.
Today, his family and friends were celebrating his incredible life and the contributions he made to the Tasmanian aviation community.
Parties, happy times, our visitors were premiers, governors, and they were really busy, fun times, and there was never a dull moment.
You were told, never do what I do. Do as I say.
Mr Jones, described as a determined daredevil, died in 2004, but his legacy is still flying high. He founded the Aero Club of Southern Tasmania, this year marking its 70th anniversary.
Lifetime enthusiasm for aviation, yeah.
Fittingly, his ashes were this week scattered from an aircraft on one of the places he loved most, the eastern end of the Franklin Range.
I named Mount Lloyd Jones after my father.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Concerning photos of a Tasmanian devil with large portions of its fur missing have been referred to the Tasmanian Devil program for further investigation. The pictures were posted online and show the marsupial walking on a road near Badger Head, north of Launceston. The Department of Primary Industries, Parks, Water and Environment say it's likely the cause is a type of skin cancer, which is not uncommon, particularly in older Tasmanian devils. A new Tasmanian business is offering families of dying loved ones the opportunity for a more authentic funeral. The company's founder says bespoke services are a growing trend within the end-of-life care industry, and the business offers an alternative to conventional care.
For Jane Bradshaw, it was a simple decision at one of the hardest times of her life. After losing her mum unexpectedly just weeks ago, she and her family knew how they wanted to say goodbye.
Respecting her in the same way as if she was still here.
She says the process was totally individualised and worlds away from the conventional and costly traditional funeral services.
Our needs were really met rather than trying to fit us into a formula of how it's going to go.
Everybody's journey is different, everybody's life is different.
It started here in Tasmania with Sandra Bamford, who lost her baby son over 20 years ago.
We could have done things so much differently back then.
She's been a funeral celebrant for the last decade and saw a gap in the local market for the growing national trend of holistic death care.
I'd often think, God, that person was interesting. I really would have loved to have met them in life. And then I just think it'd be lovely to actually have that opportunity to actually take the family and the person through that whole journey.
The bespoke service has home-based death care and hosts funerals where the family chooses, using wicker caskets and shrouding bodies in local ethical fabrics.
It was also something that was environmentally sound, and I knew Mum would like that too.
An alternative model taking on the billion-dollar-a-year industry. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Premiership winning North Launceston coach Tom Couch says he'll return to coach the side at next TSL season after leading the club to its third premiership in the past 4 years at UTAS Stadium yesterday.
Looking up at the scoreboard there, the last sort of the 20-minute mark, and you think, you know, we're going to win it. It's just something like just seeing the emotion of the players and how hard they work for it. It's a real credit to them, and they deserve it.
Unbelievable. You can't put it into words. So to have a premiership medal around your neck is what you always dream of, and have another one, yeah, it's unbelievable.
The Northern Bombers were still celebrating today following the 87-point thrashing of Lauderdale. A record number of spectators has flocked to the Baskerville Raceway to make it the most successful Baskerville Historics event in history, and the crowds weren't disappointed with an action-packed day on the track. A trip down memory lane for the thousands that turned out, including motorsport legend John Harvey, who helped Alan Moffat to victory in the opening round of the inaugural World Touring Car Championships at Monza in 1987 in their VL Commodore.
Alan and I, and even the 24-hour race we did at Spa in Belgium, never put a scratch on that car in any of the races we did. You know, it's just a lovely thing it was. I've really got some great memories of that car, probably more so than any other race car I've ever driven.
Harvey equally is impressed with the record crowd numbers than he was with the millions of dollars worth of speed machines on display and out on the track.
Well, I think all of that's being celebrated today, and I'm mighty impressed with the crowd that's shown up here yesterday and particularly today. It's just great.
The expectation was there, but we are certainly blown away with the display put on by the cars on the track, and the crowd on the hill is a record crowd. It's absolutely fantastic.
And with 200 cars and 60 bike entries across 60 different events, it was the perfect way to break in the newly refurbished track, with $1 million spent to get it back up to its former glory.
Oh, look, this certainly goes a long way in actually ensuring the track's going to have a fantastic future.
Good evening. Plenty of water about the north of the state today. Launceston reaching 13 degrees, 14 for both Burnie and Devonport, and 18 for Hobart. 18 was the state's high, also reached at Maria Island today. Friendly Beaches, Grove, Bushy Park, all 17. 16 at St Helens, Flinders and King Islands, both 15. 14 for Strawn and Wynyard, Lowhead 13 and Lyweenie 9 degrees. The satellite sequence shows a series of low pressure systems over the southern ocean. This is causing shower activity and isolated thunderstorms. Patchy cloud is over the southwest of Western Australia with a frontal system approaching there. The rest of the country is mostly clear. On the close-up, we can see low-level convective cloud across the state. Tomorrow, a complex area of low pressure is over the southern Tasman Sea. There is a trough approaching Tasmania and over New South Wales and the Tasman Sea. To coastal waters now, west to southwesterly winds reaching 35 knots about the south in the morning and seas mostly 2 to 3 metres. A gale warning is current for north-eastern coastal waters from the northern tip of Flinders Island to Low Rocky Point for west to southwesterly winds. A strong wind warning is current for all remaining coastal waters and also for Frederick, Henry, Norfolk and Storm Bay, also the Channel. A small craft wind alert is current for the southwest lakes. Looking to tomorrow, Hobart a shower or two, 13, 11 at Dover, showers, 12 degrees with a shower or two for ooze. Partly cloudy in the north tomorrow, Launceston 15, Devonport 14 and Scottsdale 13. Showers for the west with Burnie expecting 13, Strawn 11, 12 at Stanley. To the east coast, St Helens becoming cloudy 16, partly cloudy for Swansea 15 and also partly cloudy for Ross 13. To Tuesday now, showers about the west and far south, easing during the day but fine elsewhere, snowfalls to 800 metres. Wednesday, showers about the northwest, extending statewide during the day. On Thursday, showers about the west and far south and Bass Strait Islands, possible morning showers elsewhere. On the mainland tomorrow, a mostly sunny day for Darwin, Alice Springs, Cairns, Brisbane, Sydney and Canberra. Showers for Perth, Adelaide and Melbourne. Currently, it's mostly cloudy and 12 in Hobart, Launceston 10 with showers and 11 for Devonport, also with showers. And that's your weather forecast, Jo. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, Carmen. Lovely to see you. Well, that's all from the news team for now. Thanks so much for your company. Bye-bye.